Game Freak has effectively shown us nothing of what we'll be getting in the Scarlet and Violet DLC, which has forced the two of us to just kind of make some stuff up. So I won't waste any time. We've got 5 all-new Paldean form concepts for the Scarlet and Violet DLC right here, featuring 5 Pokemon that could use a little love. For some, perhaps too much.
That's right, we know who you sickos are. So I'll start us off today with a pick from the region that started it all, Alola's Beware. And we've gone completely bonkers with this one, changing the lovable O from a normal fighting type into Fighting Dark. The idea for this comes from the Bugbear, which are hairy, goblin-like creatures that carry around weapons, shields, and even armor. So the lore here is that our Paldean Beware had to deal with far more Pokemon picking fights with it in its area of the world, so it went sicko mode and ripped its tail clean off its body and started using it as a mace to fend off predators, competition, and the like.
It literally started mutilating itself, and that is absolutely vile. This is like if you mixed a primate's anger with the brute strength of a champ. I wouldn't ever want to run up on this thing in the wild. If that idea wasn't scary enough though, look at that sharp looking deal on its tail. That's the weird boomerang looking object that it had on its head before. It totally just jammed it into the tail to make it even more of a lethal weapon. This thing is nuts. Its design changes beyond that too as well. No more welcoming pink, just a pissed off reddish color. Instead of hiding the muscles it'll crush you with under the fur, now you can see its jacked arms, and boy is it angry. I wonder if it has anything going on up there in its head. Is this thing just a brute, or is it like a cold and calculating killing machine? At least fairy-type Pokemon would still be very useful against it, but this thing is still just rocking out with moves like Poison Jab and Iron Head. It's probably going to be a wrap.
Paldean Beware is definitely a Pokemon that you'll want to beware of, am I right, ladies and gentlemen? So we'll take you on the opposite side of things and show off Paldean Dugong, whose basis comes from a monk seal, swapping out its water typing for the psychic type, which makes quite the juxtaposition between entries for sure. The reason behind these Dugong changing forms over time has to do with the water. I imagine that they would be found in a very specific area, like a hidden cavern of sorts. The serenity of being hidden away combined with the enlightening minerals in the water caused it to transform into what you're seeing here.
I love the concept. I can imagine the Lappers hanging out with these new Dugong. It seems like they'd probably both be fans of hiding themselves away. The idea of it no longer keeping the water typing but instead living with the ice typing is pretty interesting. Obviously most Pokemon fans probably would view the concept of a water psychic type as being more exciting and enticing than an ice psychic, but Dugong is out here breaking the mold and I love that. It would have like a crystal clear monk robe as an energy seal almost around it, created by its psychic typing mixing with the natural ice that it produces and hangs around. It has closed eyes like a monk seal and a silly looking mouth, which is just a design I could see being a big merch seller and of course popular with fans of cute Pokemon. Sometimes Game Freak likes to go out there and just create Pokemon with the sole reasoning of it being cute, and this would easily fall into that category I think.
Speaking of which, here's a real cute one for you. Ferret, one of my all-time favorites. The 5'11" ferret is one that I would love to snuggle with if I had the money. But hey, this Paldean ferret is a little creepy looking, so that'll ward off some of that desire. This ferret is based on the common gannet, an animal natively from the Sahara and other parts of Africa that was later introduced to southwestern areas of Europe, like Spain. Now we decided on the fire normal type for no reason other than that it's based on an animal that can handle the heat pretty well. So well, in fact, that the heat coming off of it combusts, creating this very unique version of the long body Pokemon.
There's never been a more fitting definition for a Pokemon. I mean, what? I'm the shellfish Pokemon? I'm not even a fish. I'm like a bug. Anyway, the typing of a Pokemon like that being fire normal, I feel makes a lot of sense. There's not a lot that would especially differentiate a ferret from this Paldean form if we just went based off of the sort of animal it is and don't include its ability to handle high temperatures. As for the way it looks, well, I think it would be a reddish pink and an off-white ashy gray looking color for the majority of its body. Maybe it'll have some burnt charcoal looking spots on it as well, and naturally a nice way to incorporate the flames, as you can see. I think it's sort of easy to imply this thing would have the flame body ability too, but that's just obvious thinking coming through. This is yet another Pokemon that probably would be a little cute, but I like the thought of it being an edgy alternative to the original ferret.
I guess I was pretty harsh saying creepy at first, but I mean, did you see those eyes? But it definitely feels like one that would grow on me pretty easily. But But now we're going to move into our penultimate Pokemon in today's video, and the one you heathens all wanted to see. We've got Lopunny, which gets a major makeover, becoming a ghost fairy type with heavy influences from El Coco, which is essentially the Spanish and Portuguese boogeyman, and Frank the Rabbit from Donnie Darko. We wanted this Pokemon to really stand out with its concepts, and I think we've more than accomplished that. Now, I'll be honest, rabbits really have nothing to do with El Coco, but when thinking of concepts to be inspired by, Frank the Rabbit felt perfect for what we wanted to do. And it does feel pretty boogeyman-ish, no?
Oh, absolutely like the boogeyman. A really interesting boogeyman. A boogeyman that was perfect for the thumbnail, clearly. I didn't know much about the El Coco going into things, and I had only ever seen clips from Donnie Darko, but combining these two into a regional variant for Lopunny feels like, well, it's a great idea. It's pretty natural, too, huh? His face is going to be a bit spooky looking, at least compared to the way a regular Lopunny looks. I could see plenty of people being like, wow, that's scary looking, but sort of charming. At least it's okay for me to say that because I'm a Pokemon, but not you real-life humans watching this. That would be absolutely disgusting. You guys have a problem? Get help? But it's the same thick and powerful legs you come to expect from Lopunny, but its ears no longer look like they're just some ponytails. Instead, they're a little sharper and stand up straight, while sacrificing some of their length from the Sinnohan form. It's almost like it has swords on its head. You should probably avoid getting too close.
And finally, we're at our last entry, and this is going to be a fun and strange one, in the sense that it's a Pokemon you'd probably never imagine getting an alternate form, and that Pokemon is Smearglebabycakes. We've decided to take this adorable painter doggo and turn him into an elephant shrew inspired monster, giving it the ground typing along the way. It would still have its paint motif, just this time instead of its regular paints it'd be using clay paints for its base, giving it one of the most powerful typings in the game as Stab, in addition to everything else that makes Smeargle good already.
You'd better believe this thing is going to use its weird trunk-like nose to paint too. It's some awesome lore that it's creating clay paint. I do really like that. I think it'd be a perfect opportunity to give it a move that changes typings too when you use it, but I'll worry about that thought another day. It's going to be a lot smaller than your casual Smeargle, probably often on 4 legs instead of just 2 unless it's painting. Though, how great would it be if this form would use the ground as its canvas instead of a rock or a wall? I think it would mostly keep its regular color scheme but be really dirty, covered in its clay paints and whatnot to give it some personality. It doesn't conform to your art school standards. This shrew is a rebel. It would easily become a fan favorite, I think, and I know I'd try to be friends with one.
So that's it. 5 awesome Paldean forms that should be in the Scarlet and Violet DLC. And Game Freak, if you're watching, these are totally free for you to use. We give you total permission.
Dex, I don't think they're...
Shut up!
Oh, alright.
But tell us, what do you all think about these forms, and what Pokemon would you like to see get new ones this fall and winter when the DLC drops? Be sure to let us know in the comments section below.
Be on the lookout too. If you enjoyed this video and made it to our outro, you'll be happy to know we have more ideas like this coming down the line. So, to all of you, thanks for watching, even the people who clicked just for the thumbnail. I'm the Prime Directive.
And I am the Collector.
Yeah, he is. And we'll see you guys next time.